Hello again. Been a few days. I've taken a couple of days off from chess. So let's see if we can get a good game here. Caro. So I've been playing a lot of Panov, Botvinnik. I think I'm gonna switch back to this classical line and maybe try to transpose into a black Mardimer. Gambit. Let's gambit a pawn. He doesn't want to do that. Okay. He just wants to let my pawn sit here silly like. Okay. So no transposition, at least not to the gambit. But this looks playable. We're going to get some opposite side castling here. This could get exciting. Both of us playing pretty rapidly. He's going to castle queenside as well, it looks like. So I can push here, can advance the knight to attack the bishop before he gets a chance to create a space. Let's do that. Let's see if we can get the bishop off the board. Okay, and we both castle queenside. So I'm going to take the bishop pair. He's got to take this way because this way hangs this pawn. And this doesn't do much because it just gets met by his own bishop development. So he's got two pieces on this. I have two defenders as well. So that's adequately defended. What's my plans here? Hmm. Swing this knight over to guard this square and prepare this. Might invite him to trade off a knight. And I have to take back. That leaves me with two central pawns. Kind of like that. Seems like a reasonable idea. He doesn't have this push anymore, I don't think. That's just far too dangerous to start exposing his king over here. Though maybe he wants to develop the knight over here. Okay, so he attacks my bishop. So I'm going to back it up with this idea. He kicks me. I've got this square. Attacking that. Oh, he's going to give me the bishop. It's going to be bishops versus knights. Okay. This just seems very attractive now. He could come here and force the queen trade because this is undefended. I could let him take the queen though and just retreat my bishop somewhere. Trading off the knight for the bishop doesn't help because he just takes the queen first. There's lots of pawns on the board, and I want to start trading off some pawns so that my bishops can work better. So I'm thinking retreat the bishop with the idea of kicking this knight and trying to break open in the center. I could just take the queen as well. He develops his knight, and then I can start rolling pawns maybe. He comes back. Still got to move the bishop somewhere to keep pushing pawns. What if I use the queen to defend the bishop? That's an option too that I should have considered. Hmm. Yeah, I'd like to keep my queen and the bishop. So let's get our queen off of this. If he ever moves this knight, we've also got ideas of infiltrating with the queen here. This pawn's stuck because this will be undefended. So he did move the knight, attacking the bishop. So can I come in with the queen? And he takes, and I check, and he moves the king, and I don't have this square. So what about takes, queen here. I'm attacking here and here. If he defends, too many arrows. If he defends, then I have check, king here. Queen defends this pawn. Perhaps I bring the bishop back. This bishop is a beast. My best piece by far. I don't know that he should have castled the queen side. But you do, I mean, I frequently see it, both sides castling queen side in the Caro. But it seems like a reactive, like just trying to avoid white's plans. without much thought of Black's own. I don't play the Caro though, so I that's as much insight as I can give to it. Okay. Now if I come here and I get to come here, king's forced up and this pawn would hang. Do you want to come here with the knight and then just replace this? That doesn't seem like a good idea. Let's centralize our other rook. Keep this pawn anchored where it's at. But I still have ideas of this and this. Suppose he could start running with the king now to try and avoid that idea. But this attacks this pawn, and he's got to do something about that. But I don't have this entry square because this knight's annoying. I don't know what he does unless he runs with the king now. But that's pretty dangerous too, considering I have a queen and rook battery in the middle. I would start kicking his knight and then trying to force open the center. I do not like black's position here. I don't know what else he does though. Try to move it. No, that just doesn't make sense. Get his other rook over here. That gives me this. And keeps the king from running. He'd have to sacrifice material to stop mate, I think. My queen's coming here. He could bring the knight back to stop that. That's an option. Then I kick the knight. He retreats here or here, probably here. And then I continue forcing open the center. My king can run, his can't. So retreating the knight might be his best shot. And then F or C4. Knight back. D5. Takes. Takes. Oh, takes. There's a pawn here. Takes with the pawn. Rook over to defend the queen. Takes. With the bishop backing that pawn up. I don't know what he does here. I feel like white has a significant advantage. with this bishop. That just cut him off, didn't it? Does that allow? Like, what does he do with Queen E5 now? Does he have to sack? He can no. He can't allow me back here. If he plays a nothing move and allows me to play Queen B8 check, King here, Queen takes pawn, Knight blocks, Queen takes Knight is mate. So Queen here. I think he's got a sack material. Unless I'm missing something. That just looks devastating. We can block with the queen here. Then I pick up the pawn. Okay, he does have it. Yeah. He can block with the queen. That is something I missed. Then I get a discover on his queen. So takes. Oh, that's also a defense I missed. Knight defends that square. Ah, sometimes I don't know if I remember how to play chess. I don't know if it's worth picking up this pawn just to get chased around because the queen doesn't have anywhere to go. I mean, that's just a, I mean, I don't even, he doesn't even need to attack the queen. The queen's pretty useless all the way over there. So I'm not interested in pawn grabbing. Let's retreat. This knight wasn't here. That would have been a big problem. But it was. Okay. Forced his knight back. Okay. He checks my king and I'm forced over. He can come here and attack my queen, block off this bishop now. But that might give me a pin. So I don't think he can do that. Maybe he's thinking about this. Then I'm pretty tempted to take this knight. And if he wants to take, I'll trade the queen for 2 rooks in this position. Because a rook right here would be mate after these 2 rooks are gone. Oh, no, queen can retreat. Queen can retreat. Okay. So queen's guarding this square too now. So the queen can trade herself off if I come back there. He might just bring his knight back over here. I thought I had a pin there. Don't I have a pin? How does he defend that? Brings this. I take. He takes. I take. What's the point of that? Can he defend? He can't defend the queen with the knight either. Oh, yes, he can. Yes, he can. So I bring this here. He goes knight here to defend the queen. And I don't want to trade queens. What if I don't pin it? I just attack it. Or what about attacking the queen directly? Can I counterattack? If the queen comes off the knight is hung. If he trades, knight takes queen, pawn takes, the knight's still attacked. Oh, he trades itself off for the bishop. Okay. Well, the bishop's hanging. The bishop is hanging, so no good there. Here, hmm, pesky Caro Kann. Back to my, well, I don't know what I want to do. What if I force his knight to the edge of the board? I pin it. He comes to the edge. Then I attack the knight. He comes back. Attacking my queen. Then I can drop back down to this square. And threaten maybe pushing with an attack on that. Thought enough. I think this might be my idea. So this is all just going to maneuver, designed at getting my queen here. to threaten pushing here. And if he takes it, I get to take up here. Okay, so I don't want to trade queens. I'm going to attack his knight. Does have the option of coming right back to attack me again, though. If he does that, I suppose I slide over and attack him. And I can force him back and, I don't know, come up with another idea. Ooh, he's gonna, okay. He blocks this attack off. Now that opens this square. This knight's not defending it anymore, and I think maybe this idea, kicking the queen, if he has to try and maintain protection of the knight. And then I kick the queen again. Queen comes here. And then I get the knight. Oh, and then he comes here to defend the knight. Oh, wait, no. I come here. I come here and attack the queen again. I can chase the queen off the knight, I think, and win the knight. Because he gave me this square. Starting with the rook wouldn't have worked because I wouldn't have a follow-up attack after queen here. I need to be able to push this pawn to attack the queen. Is the queen trapped here? Queen's got here. Suppose knight can come here too. Threaten the queen. Threaten my queen. But then I just move and his queen is hung. Maybe move here to avoid another knight attack. He's almost got his queen trapped here. He can go here and give up the knight. Or he can try to move the knight here and lose the queen. He can take a rook for a queen. But I think black is busted here. Don't see a way out without losing material. I hear my dog barking, so I'll be back in one moment. Oh, opponent resigned. Well, let's look at the game review. He didn't find a way to save material. And I don't think he could have. Looks like I was building an advantage. Had a pretty good edge throughout, 82%. Quite a few inaccuracies, but I imagine that has to do with trying to transpose over into a Black Mardemer. I'm sure that that's called something different. Caro, Kann defense, Rasa, Studier, Gambit. but I don't play the Caro, so I'm not familiar with that. But like, it's the same basic idea as Black Martimer, I think. I'm giving Black an opportunity to gambit or to take material here, but I'm going to build a lead in development. And the difference is that Black has already developed this pawn. But it's basically a Black Martimer. If he accepts, he declines. And we get a very interesting position here, I think. So this was a mistake on my part to push the queen. Probably develop that knight. Okay, that makes pretty good sense too. Kick the bishop. Force him to retreat. Keep kicking the bishop. If only I could jump that far. He's got to create space, and I kick him again. He backs up. Just take a lot of... Yeah, take a lot of space and force him to move around. Didn't like that either. I thought that was an error, a mistake, although I still have an edge. A better idea here. Push. Yeah, just push and gain more space. I really saw the opportunity to take the bishop pair, though, and I didn't want to give him the opportunity to save that bishop and have that kind of raking across the position on his, give him attacking opportunities. I suspected, come on, dog. Suspected he was going to castle queenside already, and I saw the benefits of me having the bishop here, and I didn't want him to have the same benefits, was my reasoning behind that. But the gain of space over here on the king side would have been good too. Inaccurate. That's a miss. What should he have done? Why is that inaccurate? I felt like that was a decent move on his part. Come on, dog. Oh, go. What else can he do here? He'd probably start running with that king. Because if I take the knight, he takes back. He's always got this bishop coming here to stop these ideas of pinning the king and queen. So maybe I just run with the king, but that's a blunder. So, whoopsie. The best move. Table. Oh, that's a nice pin there. Just take advantage of that pin, attack the bishop and this. So he gets the light square bishop after I get his, because I've got to swing over with the queen to defend. That's a nice move that I should have seen. But the way I was missing moves in this game. That was a miss also. I'm assuming because it lets me have the bishop pair. This bishop is a beast for the rest of the game. Even though I miss some of his defensive ideas, that bishop is just monstrous. Inaccurate, okay. Like, I thought that was good. Thought that was good. And that was a miss because it gave up this. Please tell me it's because it gave up this, and I'm gonna win material here. I jumped up in the eval from 2.1 to 3.9 here. It's positionally just because he gives up this square. And that's going to allow me to win material. Calls that a miss, though. It's an inaccuracy. So what is the better idea? I see a forced way to win material. What should I do instead? Just bring the rook up? But that lets him keep the material, I think. Oh no, the rook defends this. Of course. I didn't need the pawn to defend the pawn because the rook defends the pawn. But it's a space gaining move. I don't see it as that. It's not like it hurt my position. But it's a rook. The rook lift is the best move, yeah. But that did also give him this down here. But he's gonna lose material. I thought so if he moves the knight down here, then I think I'm just crushing him. Knight h3 is a blunder. There's a queen f1 and the queen's home. I've got to keep the queen defending this rook because, well, I can take back with the bishop. So, yeah, just terrible position for black. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that gambit. The Rasa Studier, whatever that's called. I'm going to call it a black Mardimer. Declined is basically what it was. I'm going to look into this line a little more and see if that attempted transposition is something worth looking a little more into. But I liked it. Come back and enjoy some more chess with me.